What's up, fam? I wanted to do a quick little video, guys. This is the house I grew up in. It's a little bit different because we didn't have this roundabout right here, but that is definitely the same tree we planted. That is definitely, pretty much everything's the same. This tree over here is definitely the same still, but I wanted to show you guys our farmhouse. This is how much it's going for right now. That's how much they went for. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and it sits on 5 acres. It is a mini farm. We had chickens, ducks, sheep, goats, chickens, ducks, sheep, goats, fish, a golden retriever, and 15 kittens. That's what we had when I was growing up. So let me show you guys the house, okay? This is on Zillow if you guys want to buy it, and it's in Xenia, Ohio, where I grew up. Okay, so there is the front of the house. Look how pretty it just looks, guys. I remember that front porch. I remember running out of that front door when I was about to get a whooping or something. I remember having to go get switches. Like, oh my God, I have so many memories about that house. Right here in the front yard, right here, that would always be covered in snow during the winter time. And so me and my brother had to shovel the sidewalk right here. And then over here, there used to be a bunch of mint that my grandma gave us from Jamaica or whatever. And so it would grow and take over all of this. And then over here on the front porch, we used to have a green bench that my mom painted. Or no, I think my grandpa made it for us. And then my mom painted it green. And then she put Cross on it, our last name. And the bench always had daddy long leg spiders. And it was always rusted a little bit, or it was falling apart because of the weather. And then she painted it again. These 2 front windows are our family room. That's our front door. This room right here is an office or a bedroom. And then this is the garage, but I'll show you guys the rest. Okay, so then let me just go on here, push on it. Let me push on it. Yeah, there we go. We'll do it like this. Okay. So that's the front of the house. You guys can see it like that, okay? And then this is the whole property. So this is our house. This is Anderson Road where I used to ride my bike and everything. This long driveway. These people had a horse farm, okay? And they used to have wine all the way up the yard. It was like almost like a virtual, not a virtual, but it was like a fence barrier of wine trees. I guess they got rid of it. Then there's the barn that was rebuilt after me and my brother burnt it down. This is where you could have your goats and your sheep and your horses and your pigs and whatever. But we used to have the fence actually come all the way up here. So they cut that down. The fence used to come all the way up here. And then there would be a fence on this line all the way up to the mailbox and then back down like that. So I don't know why they took the fence down, but they must have. But yeah, these trees were there. This tree has been here forever. I crashed into that tree on my bike hundreds of times. There used to be a pond back in this area, but they must have filled it in. I wish they would have left a pond. There's so many memories in that pond. And then there's another air view. So here's the front yard. There's a hill that slants down like that. And so we used to go sledding in that hill every Christmas and everything. And then my dad would always get stuck down here at the driveway because there's a hill. So his truck would always get stuck. We had to put sandbags or push him out early in the morning. And then here's the house. And then there's just like the kind of backyard. But let me show you guys the rest. I want this house, guys. I want this house. If I ever come into money, I want this house. Here's another angle, but this used to all be, this was grass too. This was grass too. I had to mow all of this, guys. I mowed all of this. No, I didn't mow in here. Well, when it got super high, yeah, we did. When we would like, oh my God, I'm trying to think, why did it get super high? What happened? I don't remember, but the goats and the sheep would graze in here. And I don't remember why this got filled up with grass and weeds, and I had to mow it, and I had to be careful not to see like a garter snake or, anything like that. And I was freaking out. And there's a little fence right here where my grandpa and my dad built like a little step thing for you to step over. And you had to be careful because the sheep would ram you in the butt or in your hip if you weren't careful. And I hated that shit. And then over here, I used to go this way to get to the pond that was right in this area. And then to go to the rest of the acres up here. So let me keep showing you guys. So that's like one aerial view. So all of this is our yard, all of this, all the way up to like right about here. And over in this area, we call it Dead Man's Trail because it had a very steep drop into a ravine at the bottom. And I crashed into it once before and I almost broke my arm. And then my brother crashed into it and my best friend William. But oh my God, guys, we would always sled up there. We called it Dead Man's Trail because the cliff was so dangerous you could die. That's like why we called it that. And then over here, in this area right here, me and my brother had a little fort in there where we had we digged holes in the ground. We had a tree house. We did a lot of fun stuff. That was like our hangout when kids would come over to visit us, like our friends or whatever. We would hang out in the woods right here because my mom never wanted us really to leave the property with any kids because, you know, their parents didn't know the land like we did. So we weren't really allowed to take them that far out. So we would just take them to right there. That's as far as out because my mom could still see us because the house is up this way. Excuse me. So there's the house at this angle. Over here is the pine trees still up. A lot of bad shit happened over there. And there used to be a fire, our firewood right here every year. And then this is a fireplace all the way up. And then there's that angle. And then fun fact, sorry, my arm's getting numb. Fun fact, when my dad retired from the Air Force in early, I think it was 1999 or 1992, I don't remember. We had a big graduation or retirement party for him. I'm telling you, big. We had big tents. A bunch of people came from his, oh my God, we literally the biggest puck luck dinner ever. All our neighbors came. My grandparents flew in. My uncle didn't come, but my grandparents flew in and all my friends came. All my little brother's friends came. My sister's friends, my mom's friends that we were homeschooled with. And it was the best party. I'll have to show you guys the pictures because I have some of them. And then here's the driveway. Oh my God, we used to lay the rocks down here. Me and my brother used to go ride our bikes really fast and do fishtails because I used to be a BMX rider. So I used to do BMX bikes when I was younger, like 9 or 10, right? And so we used to ride our BMX bikes up and down the street like that, up and down the driveway. And then when the rock trucks would come to dump the rocks looked so nice and powdery. And it just, I don't know, it was kind of cool. And then when it snowed, the driveway looked really pretty when it snowed. So, okay. And then there's the other angle of the tree. There's just something about Ohio. It just looks pretty. Florida's so dry. Me and my brother used to take naps out here. We used to do picnics. We used to do backflips and karate and water balloon fights. Oh my gosh, guys. My childhood was good, but then there were moments that were sad too. But right before we moved into the rental house after we sold this one, my childhood was a lot of fun. It was. And then this is the barn that we had built after we burned down the other barn. And this was our big driveway. It's humongous. And you could fit a lot of cars there. And then there's the garage to the house. The house is not that big, but it's really pretty. Let me see if it lets us. I think it'll let. And see, that's the barn. This is where the pool. This is where the pond used to be. It was a big pond with a bunch of fish in it and everything. And then there's the back porch. We built that deck. It used to have a guard around it. They must have took down the guard. See? It used to have this fencing all the way around. I don't know why they took it down, but we built that. Me, my mom, my dad, my brothers, and my grandpa, we built that onto the house. We didn't build this. We didn't build the top thing. We just built the bottom one. We didn't care about the top, really. So, and then my mom had she had a little fish pond here too with koi and flowers and all that different stuff. That was her deck that she had, or her little pond that she had. So she had 2 ponds. This must be a generator or air conditioning. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Okay, and then there's the porch that says home or welcome. I don't even know what it says. Yep, and my mom used to have a bunch of plants in here. The porch was right there. You had to always step up or step down. I remember that. And then this is the kitchen. Look how pretty the kitchen is. They remodeled because we didn't, our cabinets were not this color. Our cabinets were oak. But it's really pretty inside. You see? It's really pretty. The kitchen. This door right here takes you to the basement. I realized that they didn't put a picture of the basement. I wonder how the basement looks. There's the back window looking into the yard. My mom used to always be in this window. And up here, she used to have the little bells. I called it the slave bell, but she had the little bells right there. And she would open that window and ring it and tell us it's lunchtime. And she used to watch us out that window. She used to be like, stay where I can see you, you know, sometimes. That's how my mom was. Oh my God. And that window, I didn't tell you guys, we did put in all the new windows. This window, oh my Lord. I used to sneak out of that window, me and my brother, a lot, because right outside the other side of the window, we had a table. And so we used to sneak out of that window and like get on the table and then get down and then run. When we'd like be grounded or be in trouble or something, we would sneak out that window. And then, yeah, this was the pantry right here. This was like the little closet. But they redid the floors too. But yeah. Oh my God, I remember that hallway. This was the family room. This is where we used to have our TV, our entertainment center, our couches. And then that sliding door was where people would always come to visit and stuff through that sliding door. And you can see it on that angle. That angle. And then this little white door right here is the garage. This would take you into the garage. That would always be cold during the winter because, I don't know, for whatever reason, like you could see right there. For whatever reason, the air would come through. And there's the dining room. We had a bigger table than that, but it was always a nice room. There's the family room. Oh crap, I went too far. That's one of the bedrooms. I don't know which bedroom that is. That must be one of the, oh, that might be the room downstairs. There was a room downstairs, yeah. No, that's the master bedroom. That's the master bedroom. That is the master bedroom, yep. And that's the closet, the master closet. That's the bathroom, the walk-in shower, 2 ways to get in. So you come in this way, you come out that way, or you both go in one way and come out the other way. See, it's really pretty. My parents right now, to this day, they have a shower just like that in the room right across from me with 2 different shower heads. They call it a Jill and Jack bathroom. This was probably one of the kids' rooms upstairs. Yep, this was the one upstairs because this room used to be my sister's room and there were 2 bunk beds in there and then their closets were over here and then there was all their books and desks and stuff over there. Like I love this room because this room used to get the most sun in the house. And that's the same room, different angle. Same, oh no, this is a different room. Oh, it says room number 3. Yeah, see, they must have had 2 boys in there just like me and my brother. This was our room. My bed used to be over here in the corner, like right here. And my brother's bed was over here. We used to push our beds together because sometimes we'd get lonely at nighttime or whatever and just talk to each other all night and I would tell stories. So we'd be like, okay, are we pushing our beds together? We're like, yeah. And then we would just stay up all night and he loved my stories when he was little. And then we could just look out the window. Yep, and there's the closet doors, yep. We had all our toys. Guys, we were spoiled. We had so much toys oh my God, we had so many toys when it was time to move, like so many different type of toys. And so my brother had so many army men and just like, oh my God. And I had so many cars. And fun fact, my brother that is passed, he used to lock us in this room and sleep in front of the door so my mom could take a nap, like when he came back from the military school. And we hated that room. Oh my God, we hated that room. Because when we got in trouble, that was the room we were sent to. When I had my asthma attacks, I had to look out this window and look at my little brother having fun with his friends and knock on the window and beg, tell Dad I feel okay. Can I come out of my room? Oh, there's the basement. Okay, I didn't see it. Yep, we put in that furnace. It looks exactly the same still. Wow. That was our basement. We built this little thing right here for the paneling for the electrical. These windows used to creep me out. When my mom used to watch Forensic Files and that old man's voice came on, I always thought about the killer coming through those windows at nighttime because when we lived there, they were broken. They could slide open, but they would not lock. And I was always scared that the killer was in the basement. And fun fact, my sister, when she was taking care of us, she used to make me and my brother strip to our underwear, go down there, and we'd be in the pitch dark, and she'd tell us that there are monsters down there. So me and my brother were scared of the dark for like years after that. Oh, so they turned it into a gym. Yep. We were scared of the dark. And see the entertainment center. Yep, that's how we had ours too. That was me and my brother's home school room when we were growing up. And then there's the laundry room. Well, they have it the same room, not the laundry room, the sewing room. My mom had it just like that. We built this table too. And then that was the closet. That's so funny. I need to show my mom that. And she built the cabinets at the top too. Yep. That's where my mom wrote her first book ever, was in this room. But I do like the tile on the wall. And there's the barn. They had some big ass tractors, damn. And you can see the straw in here where we had our straw. But we didn't have big tractors like that. We had a riding mower just like that. And then we had a push mower like that. I did the riding mower, my brother did the push mower, and we had a weed whacker. But we did not have this big old thing. That's probably to do the big acres. And that's it, guys. That's my farmhouse. It's on Zillow. And if someone wants to buy it, it's on Zillow for that much money right there. 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath. And it's just a gorgeous house, guys. I want it so bad. But make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know if you guys want to see some other videos of my house. Or actually the house I'm in right now. If you guys want to see the videos of this house being built, send me some comments in there. And I love you guys, and I'll talk to y'all later with another video. Peace out. Bye.